Good evening, people. Welcome to another episode of Talk with Antonio. I am your host, Antonio. Man, it's kind of a chaotic time right now, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very chaotic if you're a minority here, especially if you're an illegal immigrant. That right now you basically have a target in your back, and that's scary, because it's ever since this fucking piece of shit came back into power, and I don't know, just thinking about the fact that this guy came into power, knowing the fact that this is something that I've thought about pretty much a lot very recently and also in the past. In 2016, we could have had a chance to elect Hillary Clinton as president, but people voted for this guy. And 2020 rolled around. Trump lost. He lost the 2020 election to President Joe Biden, which is something that fucking Trump has still persisted that he didn't lose, that it was rigged. That's all he ever talks about. That's all he ever flaps his guns about, talking about that. He lost. Plain and simple. And the people who say that Trump won are fucking delusional. People like Marjorie Taylor Greene and his MAGA supporters are always saying, oh, Trump won in 2020. No, he didn't. It was proven. And this time around, and he kept saying, all his cronies, all his people say it was rigged. But this time around, did you hear about any Democrats say that it was rigged? No, because it was in a fair election. And the second time Trump launched to be president again, we could have had a chance to elect Vice President Kamala Harris as president of the United States. But again, people voted for this guy. And the people who say that this guy say that he was going to lower egg prices, going to lower grocery prices, you know what? Like Ebro from Hot 90, this radio station in New York, he said, y'all got played. People who voted for Trump, y'all got played. And you know what? He is absolutely right. People like farmers and all this stuff. And right now, the whole tariff war that he's trying to do, and the farmers saying, oh, please don't do this. I regret my vote. Motherfuckers, you voted for this guy. Now deal with it. And you know what's the sad part, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that people who didn't vote for this guy, I know who I voted for, and sadly, we have to pay the price also, because the people say, oh, he got elected, he's your president. Number one, I never voted for this guy. 3 times, I never voted for this guy, And it's just, it's a sad fact of life, that right now with all this shit that is going right now, that we're living in a very dark time, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll give you an example right now. Today, what happened in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a judge, this guy, Kash Patel, posted it on Twitter, and he deleted it right now, and it's just, it's fucking, it's all these, this guy is using the Department of Justice to weaponize and punish people who don't agree with this fucking agenda. And right here, it says here, FBI arrests Wisconsin's judge for obstruction in immigration case. It was this one fellow who was here illegally. His name is Eduardo Flores Ruiz. He was arrested. He's being detained. And Kash Patel says that the FBI arrested a Wisconsin county judge on obstruction of justice charges, accusing her of preventing the arrest of a man by immigration authorities during a federal law enforcement operation at her courthouse. And it says here that you can tell that she was very upset. That she was arrested at 8 a.m. She can tell that she was very upset, and she's being detained right now. People are just lined up saying, "Free Judge Dugan." It says here that this dude was being he came back here illegally, and he was arrested by ICE, which is Flores Ruiz. And it says here that the FBI agent said in a statement that the arrest members reported that while waiting outside the courtroom, a woman approached and took photos of the arrest team members just before Flores Ruiz arrived at the court with his attorney. Now, for Judge Dugan, they say that she was arrested in the hallway. It says here that witnesses uniformly report that Judge Dugan was visibly upset and had a confrontational, angry demeanor, the agent wrote. Dugan, according to witnesses, told the arrest to go to the chief judge's office to speak with them about permissively making the arrest inside the courthouse, and looked at the hallway near her courtroom to seek out the other law enforcement officers who were waiting to arrest Flores Ruiz. And right now with the whole FBI and also this, what's this dumb blonde's name? Pam Bondi? Oh, she posted on Twitter all gloating, so we have arrested the judge. And right now this guy, the border SARS, says, and I quote, let me see, border SARS, Tom, whatever this fucker's name is, says that radical judges are interfering with Trump's immigration aims. And you know what's the funny thing? Trump wants to do whatever the fuck he wants. He wants to install fear in every. You know what this dude's doing right now, people? Trump is fear mongering right now. He is doing all this fucking shit right now that I swear to you, I'm 41 years old, ladies and gentlemen. I was born and raised in this country. And seeing what's going on right now, this is not the United States that I grew up with. This is not the United States. You know what? Vice President Harris was right. All the people were saying that he was right. Trump is a fucking dictator. He wants to use right now what's going on in this day and age. This has become fascism at its finest. This guy who doesn't agree, he will use anything to stay in power. And right now, we're not even in 2028 for Christ's sake. And this guy right now and his dipshit of a son, Eric Trump, is promoting, he's selling on his website Trump 2028 t-shirts and hats, all worth $50. It's not even worth a fucking dime for me. This guy, he says there are no loopholes. He really wants to run for a third term. I don't know if these MAGA people or his cronies or even Trump and all in that matter, I don't know if they can read the Constitution. It says no person shall run for 2 terms, and this guy wants to run for a third term. This guy thinks he's Superman. He thinks he's going to live forever. Are you kidding me? And all this thing right here that he's just doing, I don't know. Like right now, all the things that happen here in the United States, that's happening right now in the United States. It's just chaotic. And right now there's a poll right now. It says here that 66% describe Trump 2.0 as chaotic. 59% say scary. Okay. It says here that it says a new poll is finding some poor results for President Trump as he nears his 100th day in office next week, with majorities of respondents saying that they would describe his time in office so far as chaotic and scary. It says that the New York Times Siena College poll released Friday that found 66% of registered U.S. voters surveyed described Trump's time in office so far as chaotic, with 32% disagreeing with the notion and 3% unsure how to describe Trump's second term. The 32% are just on his fucking MAGA sports. Oh, he's doing a perfect job. He's clean. He's doing the swamp. They're just fucking Kool-Aid drinking idiots, It says here that additionally 59% of survey takers said the president's decisions have been scary upon his return to the Oval Office. Less than half of participants, 40%, say that they would not use scary to detail Trump's White House reordering. And 67% of women and 52% of men say they are frightened by Trump's new policies, according to Friday's poll. However, some voters remain enthusiastic about change. Those are his fucking cronies and his MAGA supporters. People like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tommy Tuberville, whatever this dude's name is. It says here that a number of polls have found support for Trump falling since the initiation of the trade war with China, which is the tariff war that's happening right now. The world's second largest economy, China, with the world's second largest economy, the tariffs have contributed to a significant drop in stock markets since Trump's inauguration. And the thing is, I remember MAGA supporters were bitching during President Joe Biden's term about inflation. Right now, inflation is going up again. It's been proven. But right now, MAGA saying that, oh, that's fine. But when it was President Biden, oh, they were complaining, oh, everything's expensive, everything's, oh, this and that, yada, yada, yeah. Shut the fuck up, you know? And yet right now, Trump said this. This is like the most asinine thing that I swear to you. This is... Look at this. There's an article here from AlJazeera.com. Trump says gasoline and grocery prices are down. Facts say otherwise. Like this guy right here, I don't know if he lives in this fucking bubble. Like, look what he did years ago when he was in his first term. He said that at the United Nations, he says, and I quote, in less than 3 years, how long was my administration has accomplished with almost any administration. Like this guy thinks he's the best at everything. They want to put his face on Mount. He wants his face on Mount Rushmore. All these things that he wants to take over Greenland. He wants to take over the Panama Canal. I mean, get the fuck out of here. If he says, quote unquote, America first, focus on the United States of America. Fuck Greenland. I'm not saying that I don't dislike. I'm just saying fuck Greenland. That's the least of his worries. What the fuck do you want Greenland for, dude? Are you serious? And another thing is, what the fuck do you want with the Panama Canal for? It belongs to the Panamanian people. Greenland belongs to Denmark. Like Trump, just dude. If you, I don't know if are you stupid or are you senile? You know how your supporters used to say, like, what is it, Lauren Laverne, whatever that chick's name is. She said that President Biden was senile. Listen to yours. Look, aren't you being senile also? Focus on the United States. Focus on if he said you wanted to lower prices on eggs, on groceries. When in reality, because of your tariff trade war, that can be further from the truth. You know? And it says here, U.S. President Trump said that housing, gasoline, and grocery prices are declining. That's not true. It says here, however, current data does not fully support any of these claims. In the Oval Office on Thursday, the president, when asked about the home sales and if it's when the comment indicated that concerns him, he said that there were good numbers on housing. However, according to a report to a National Association of Realtors, which the reporter asked a question which alluding to the sales of existing prices are moving their slowest pace since 2009 and were down 5.9% in March from a month earlier. He says, and I quote, residential housing mobility currently at historical lows signals the troublesome position of a less economic mobility for society, NAR chief economist Lauren Young says in a public statement. And it says here, Trump mentioned that the energy prices have dropped to $1.98 in some states. While he did not specify of energy, his comments closely mirror remarks he made last week. At that time, he cited gas prices specifically. When in reality, that can be further from the truth. Fucking gas right now is going up. Like, and I'm not complaining because it's California. Yes, California has the most expensive price on gasoline, but it's going up. It doesn't say at all that it's been going down. He's a fucking liar. And it says here, according to AAA, which monitors national gas prices, the lowest recorded average was $2.70 per gallon last week in Mississippi. This week, Mississippi reported the lowest average gas price again, but this time $2.68, 70 cents per liter. Data from Gas Buddy, which tracks prices at individual gas stations, found the lowest individual stations to be $2.33 per gallon, 62 cents per liter, still above the figure mentioned by the president. The national average price currently stands at $3.17 per gallon, 84 cents per liter. While the reflects on a 5-cent increase from last month, it is a decrease from $3.60, 95 cents per liter at this time last year. The president correctly noted that the gas prices are trending downward, though not to the extent he suggested. And you know, it's funny that this is something that I've actually learned. If gas prices are high, it supposedly means that the economy is doing well. If gas prices goes down, it says the economy is not doing well. And I remember Trump when it was during President Obama's, I think it was first term, This guy, all he ever did was fucking run his mouth on Twitter saying, gas prices are high, fire Obama. And it says here that according to the latest report from the Department of Labor, overall energy prices declined by 2.4% over the last month, largely due to falling gas prices. The decline helped also offset increases in natural gas and electricity costs. Oil prices have also generally declined since Trump took office, predominantly on the back of the economic uncertainties caused by Trump's tariff threats. That's another thing right now that's making everything go up. It says in his comment, Trump also stated that grocery prices are decreasing. That is not fucking true, especially right now with your tariff trade war he's doing right now, fucker. It says recent data does not support this claim. According to the Department of Labor, food prices rose 0.4% from last month and are up 2.4% compared with a year ago. Price and increases were observed in 4 out of 6 major grocery categories. Eggs, which the president said had dropped in price, that is not fucking true at all. I work as a delivery driver, and people, when they ask for eggs, fuck, it's very expensive, you know? And this guy says dropped in price. He is a liar. You know, and it says here that according, he saw a 5.9% increase last month. Year over, egg prices are up more than 6%. You know, it's funny. Eggs are so expensive right now that when it came to for Easter this last Sunday, he actually used real eggs to do the Easter egg hunt at the White House. Fucking that goes to show where he stands for. It says here that the beef index rose by 1.2% and dairy prices increased by 4%. However, prices for fruits and vegetables did decline slightly, dropping 0.5%. You know, every time this guy opens his mouth, he goes on this rampage on fucking True Social, whatever the fuck that he uses, because he doesn't even use Twitter anymore. Every time he opens his mouth, he like a lie after lie after lie after lie. And you know, I think it was someone said, I think it was Mary Trump, her niece or whatever she is to that guy, says that he's showing signs of Alzheimer's and showing signs of all these things because his dad, Trump's dad, acted like that. Because he didn't want nobody telling him what to do. Because Trump acts like he is like such an arrogant tool. He's a pompous, egotistical, arrogant asshole. You can tell just by looking at him. No one wants to do business with him. Nobody wants to talk to him anywhere in the world. Like right now, I don't know. Right, he's traveling right now to Italy to go to the I think it's the funeral of the late Pope Francis. May he rest in peace, by the way. And also, former President Joe Biden's attending, and this guy's attending. I really don't care. You know, I'm not gonna say what I said on Twitter, but Alex Jones was another dude who was fucking running his mouth about Pope Francis. Also, that stupid, clueless bitch, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Oh my God, this fucking bitch never. That's another. She's like the female version of Trump. But you know, there's an old saying. Everybody pays the piper in this life, and that lady is all she ever does is spew evil. She is not a decent human being, what she said in regards to the late Pope Francis. So it's like that will be for another episode some other time. I will talk about Pope Francis. And like I said, sorry if I got off track, people, in regards to this. Right now, if you're a minority in this country, everybody has to be careful right now, because you all have everyone has a target on their back, especially depending on your legal status. We're living in scary times, and you know, with the mass deportations, with ICE doing their raids illegally, they're fucking like right now they're using their Gestapo tactics just to stop people. And I remember there was a video on Instagram that was circling around. Let me see if I could find it. Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see. Let me see if I could find it here. But this was in LA, by the way. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Let me see. Sorry if I'm taking so long because I'm looking for it on it's on Instagram. Yeah, here it is. It says undercover ICE agents in plain clothes seen outside Mexican restaurant in L.A. And there was this young, I think he was like this young black dude, and he was like, hey, he was looking out for the raza, man. That's bless this guy, man. He was like pointing out these are ICE agents, and these fuckers are running away like the fucking cowards that they are. Let me see if I could post a video. Let me see. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Look, then his car, license plate, boom, bang, bam. Hey, hold on. Hey, Mingo, big ice. Hey, be ice. Ice.
There's fucker right now walking away like the fucking, like, doesn't even want to talk, bitch ass coward. Fuck this ICE bitch. Yeah, walk away. Walk away. Bitch ass coward. Yeah, fuckers running, walking away.
Ice. Palabra ice.
Young dude was warning the other people there. Like right now, the ICE right now, they're going around like fucking cockroaches that they are. They're fucking rats, you know. And just like, you know, just seeing this right now, it just really angers me. And, you know, I would like to have a one-on-one conversation with people who are like against illegal immigrants, especially like people like fucking Ted Cruz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and they're always saying, and especially like these rednecks, especially like these MAGA racist rednecks, saying, "Oh, they're coming here, they're taking all these jobs and all that stuff." Okay, all right. Since right now they are deporting all these people, these hardworking people who are just here just to make a living, I would like to say, go out there, okay, especially like people like these MAGA right-wing nuts, Ted Cruz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, that especially those two arrogant politicians that they're just saying all this stupid stuff. They get all this cushy money that they have. They're just, like I said, arrogant politicians. I would like to say to both Ted Cruz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, okay, since you're against illegal immigrants of taking jobs and all that stuff, okay, why don't you go work in the vegetable fields? Why don't you go paint a house? Why don't you go work in construction? Why don't you go clean a house? Why don't you, especially in the vegetable fields? That is fucking backbreaking hard work right there. And I see how they work. And that's fucking they're fucking fast, you know. And I love that. That's admirable, you know. And I'm sorry if I'm going like this because this is very passionate, because my parents came here to this country, and they're here, you know, hard workers and all that stuff. And you know, it's funny right now that speaking of that, there's a fellow who has a TikTok page. His name is Juan Carlos Espina, I believe. And also another dude who I listen to a lot. I have a lot of admiration for, David Pakman. David Pakman very recently said that, and also Juan Carlos Espina said that people regardless of their legal status, if you're a United States citizen or you're a permanent citizen, both of them warned not to travel outside of the country. You know, I didn't even know about that. And you know, David Pakman, if you look at him, I thought he looks straight out white, but he's actually born in Argentina. And I was like, what? It's because right now, I guess Trump has paid attention to that guy and he's threatening him. You know, it's just sad. And Juan Carlos Espina, like he was born in this country, yet somehow he can't travel. Well, actually, I don't know about that though. I'm sorry, I take it back. But if they're warning him not to travel, which in in a nutshell, that is, where the fuck are they going to deport him for? They can't deport him unless if they want to like to take him to like to the fucking in jail in El Salvador. You know, like I don't know. We are living in very dark times. You know, and yeah, I'm sorry. It just really hurts me. It really hurts my heart because I can't believe that even some people like the Latino community who voted for this guy, especially like the Cubans, I don't know about the other race, but like a lot of other people who, especially like in the Latino community, like the Cuban community, they all voted for this guy. And like right now, look what the fuck is happening right now. Huh? That's what really angers me. Knowing the fact that they have this, they thought, you know, when it comes to Cubans, they always vote Republican. Doesn't matter what it is, but they always vote Republican. And you know what? Okay, fine. Fuck it, you know. That's their right, you know. Everyone, like, I know, like, certain people who voted for this guy. And I'll never understand that, you know. And, you know, this is another reason why I kind of, like, don't support him anymore. He was one of my favorite wrestlers, and a lot of, you know, there's like a lot of wrestlers in the WWE who supported this guy. Like the one that really like surprised me. Well, actually, I take it back. It didn't really surprise me at all. The Undertaker, when he did that documentary about him, he had that Blue Lives Matter flag. I was like, oh, yep. And then he actually invited both him and Kane, invited the Donald Trump on their fucking podcast. And that right there, just, and you know, there's another thing that I've talked about. Hulk Hogan, who is a diehard MAGA supporter, but you know, when he came out and when Raw debuted on Netflix, and they booed him like no other, but yet somehow when it was The Undertaker, that was more acceptable. You know, as I was telling to my friend, like they boo Hulk Hogan, knowing the fact that he's a MAGA supporter, but yet somehow they don't boo The Undertaker, you know? It's a double standard thing, you know? And, you know, there's even celebrities who like, supported this guy. And, like, I don't care about that, though. But I'm talking about, like, in terms of the things I follow. But it's sad that right now, this country right now, it has come... We have gone so low, ladies and gentlemen, that this guy will do anything to stay in power. As I said before, this guy already is selling hats, T-shirts, or Trump 2028. Man, how the fuck does he know he's gonna be run for a third term? He can't do that. He says there's no loopholes, and they're saying that if Vance goes for president, he's gonna be vice president. Then they could switch roles and he could become president again. Like, I don't know, like, in what world that Trump lives in, and he lies and all that stuff. And you know what? I'm no expert, but judging by how Trump acts and the lies that he says, I believe he's a sociopath. Sociopaths lie, and you're looking at him. Look all the stuff that he says on Truth Social. Every time, when things don't go his way, he'll bitch and complain, moan and complain like the coward that he is, and he won't answer questions. Like when they ask him, like, if like a straight out blunt question, he walks away throwing a fit. Like your typical cowardly behavior that he has. He's just, like I said, he's also a fucking sociopath, and I'll never understand that, you know. But whatever. That's just me. And like right now, we're just 3 more years until this guy leaves or whatever happens. But a third term, not going to happen. If he tries to amend the Constitution, and you know what? Right now, there's an article that was on Yahoo earlier. What happens if Trump disobeys the judges? They're saying that the United States Marshals might butt in. And just imagine that would happen if the United States Marshals just, like, do something or arrest his cholesterol ass. MAGA world would throw a fit. And, you know, there are some cracks right now that are showing that not a lot of people are supporting this guy anymore. Like Candace Owens. That right there is... But that will never change. Fuck her. But right now she doesn't support him anymore. Another one that doesn't really surprise me. I don't know why he supposedly invited him on his podcast over there right now. But still, that really rubbed me the wrong way. Joe Rogan. Even though I will say this, Joe Rogan is an influence on me, but not politically, because I always study him of how he conducts himself, how he does interviews. But right now, when he invited Trump on his podcast, nope. And like right now he's saying that he doesn't support Trump anymore. Too little, too late. Like I said, 3 more years left, and let's see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that about wraps up for this week's podcast. And for the following week, I will talk about the WWE Hall of Fame of this year, 2025. And I thought it was weak, in my opinion. But like I said, I will get more into that. If you have any questions, you can email me at talkwithantonio@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram, same thing. TikTok, I haven't really updated, I'm sorry, but I'm mostly active on Blue Sky also. You can find me there. You could also find me on Instagram. Or like I said, email me if you have any questions or any comments. I'm always free to listen to. And also you can find me on YouTube, by the way, with Talk with Antonio also. But yeah, let's see what happens. We just have to survive 3 more years of this sociopath that we have for a quote-unquote president. So I'll see y'all next week. Have a good evening.